All right, welcome to creating a project management site using Google Sites and AI. As I introduce myself, I'm Andrew Powers. I've been doing this for essentially 3 years for a for-profit in this company as a business advisor. Graduated from Seattle U. I worked at Google, Boeing, Microsoft, Nintendo. So I have a lot of professional experience, but I also ran my own for-profit and nonprofit. And that's what I do now. I wanted to give a special thanks to SBDC and Highland College, where I work, and Federal Way Hub, which is the hub where we did our workshops. So a quick agenda is why create a website? What options do you have for creating a website? Why create one with Google Sites? And how to create one with Google Sites. So we'll be doing that hands-on activity and then provide you some resources at the end to continue doing this learning. All right, so we're going to make this quick. This is just more so terminology and really a breakdown of why to do the Google Sites. So in general, we got to talk about websites. Websites are the new storefront. You go to Amazon, a majority of people buy their stuff online. So to have a website is to have an online retail store. And that's essentially the new brick and mortar. 81% of consumers go online before they do a major purchase. So this is actually a link. So when you look at the slide, this is an amazing woman who creates beautiful Google Sites. So you can see quality Google Sites. But overall, that's what we're looking at right now is Google Sites that were created by other people. You can use them as yellow books. You have other options. But the reason we want to use Google Sites is because it's mobile friendly. It's designed to be drag and drop, and it's connected to your Google Drive, which means everything on Google Workspace, Forms, Slides, Excel, Docs, it's all embedded the same way Google Sites is embedded, meaning you can pull stuff from your Google Drive. Technically, Google Sites is part of your Google Drive, and if you have a Gmail, you have a Google Site. So that was the breakdown. That was the quick terminology. Now it's on to the hands-on activities. So we're going to click these links. It's going to take us to a site, and we're going to see one that we've finished, show you another one that we're going to pretty much do step by step, and that's going to be the hands-on activities. So jumping into it, I wanted to show you this link. These two links lead to the same place. So we'll hit this one, and it leads to Victoria's Home and Closets. That's a website that we created in our class for one of our clients or one of our students, really just creating this. And I think we did 15 minutes because it was a 15-minute challenge. So you can see multiple pages. The other pages aren't finished, but what we have here is images we pulled in from Google's sites or Google's photos. Basically, I'll show you that. You can pull from Google Photos. These are all Google Photos. This content was created using ChatGPT, looking at the photos to create the main titles and the descriptions underwards. These images are AI generated. These are mid-journey, and these reviews are ChatGPT generated based on the images or vice versa. And lastly, we have a QR code that leads to this site, which was created using a site called Bitly. So all of this was created using AI, ChatGPT, Midjourney, and then pulling from Google Photos straight from Google's URL. So that's what we'll do. We'll go over one real quick to show you how it would work and what we can do to create our own, just like this version. And that's the next steps. All right, so we've seen this page. What I want us to do is now go to a new tab, and what we're going to type in is site.new, because if you're on your Google account, what's going to happen is it's going to create a brand new Google site. Now, what should happen, you unsure where to begin, try a template. We're going to click on this, view a template gallery. And what it's going to do is pop up all these pre-made templates. These are cool, but the number one thing we're going to go for is project. So once we've clicked on that, now it's going to pull up a project template, and that's a brand new one. So this is already pre-filled. There's different pages, history, team, frequently asked questions. So these are all things that are already pre-built so that you have a starting point. You're not just starting from scratch. So this is how we're going to start. We're going to modify this, go over how to insert stuff, and change the theme and colors so that you can quickly create your own Google site using AI. So this is the Google site. And as we've seen, this is already a pre-made template. But one important thing I want to show you is that this site can be published, but we can also share just what we're doing right now. Right now we're doing a draft. So think about it almost like a newspaper. We're drafting the newspaper and editing, or even like an essay. But when we publish it, we're pushing it out to the world. So right now it's not published, it's just a draft, and we can restrict it to who we want to restrict it to. We can send it to anybody by typing in the email, sending it to them, and as long as they have a Gmail account, they will have an ability to jump on and help drafting it. The next concept is publishing the site. So when we want to push it out to the world, we can restrict it to certain people who we've put on our email or we've emailed it out to. We can even choose, if we have a company like Highline College, I'm under them, so I can choose only Highline College people, or I can make it public. When I make it public, what that means is anybody who can get to the site can view the site. So right now, because I don't want anybody to view it yet, I'm going to keep it restricted. But I can hit this publish button, and what it does is allow me to create a web address. At the end, this becomes the whole URL, and when I publish it, that means who can view my site, which is either restricted or public, would be active. So anybody has that URL right here, they could put it into Google's URL or the URL section up here, and they would get to the site. It would be a live site for no cost. Just because you have the URL and because it's a Google site, it actually would be a live website. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the banner. The concept is this is our website name, so we're going to name it Alexa's Home and Closets, in reference to our first one, which was a home and closets based business cleaning and organizing for people in South King County. So that, and here we're going to name the same thing because this will come up on the site and the URL. So great, we've done that, and that's great. We know what we're doing and we know what we're trying to do. So that's the Alexa's Home and Closets. But this is when we're supposed to do a one-line description of the project. That can be hard because keeping it one line is gonna be a hard task. So now we're gonna go to ChatGPT, and we're gonna utilize a free ChatGPT account. I'm gonna log in, because I can log in using my Google account. And there we go. So this is a Google account and it's free, and we can say something like something like my company is named Alexa's Home and Closets. It is a cleaning business. I want and we should have already copied that, so I'll say, nope, let's go back here. One line description of the project, so I hit Control C to copy, and I'll highlight all this and hit Control V, or in my Mac it's Option V, and we'll say, we'll put this in quotations so they know, and then we'll go with, so I can put it on my website. Please provide me with 3 options to choose from. All right, so you can see I gave it the task and I asked it to give me 3 options to choose from. All right, so expert home closet clean that brings order, sparkle, peace of mind, transforming your spaces one clean home and organized closet at a time. And professional, reliable, clean, tailored to make your home and closets shine. I like that one. So, copy, go back to this one, and making sure that it's in the same font and same color, I'm going to hold down Shift Option V or Shift Control V if you're on Windows, and there we go. We just use ChatGPT to actually write our first component, and what we're going to do is use ChatGPT to start writing the rest of the content, first putting in images and then actually putting in the words based on the images that we actually enter. So I'm going to show you that next. All right, I did just say I was going to show you that next, which is the images, but really what we're going to focus on is this image first. So anytime I go over this banner, you'll see in the bottom left corner, there's images, reset, and header type. We're going to go to images, and you see a few options, upload, select, and alt text. I'm going to put select. And once you do that, you have more options. You have a gallery, you have by URL, you have photos, Google Drive, and then you have Google Images. Google Images are images that Google allows you to use, and you can type in something like cleaning, and what do you see? All these images that allow you to pick something. So I see, let's say, this one over here. Let's insert, see what happens. Okay, that kind of gives cleaning. It's a little light, but one of the things I can do is go over here to the anchor button on the bottom right, and I can start going down and up or centering. Yeah. So it's not quite the image I want. That's not enough. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I can hit reset. You'll see it resets to a base. I'm going to go to select, go back to images, Google Images, and type in cleaning again. And now I'm looking at all the cleaning options. Some of them, where's the one? Let's go. That one. There we go. Click on that one. Great. We got an image. That's something. I see legs. I see something, but let's go back to anchor. Go to the bottom. All right. That's better. Let's go to the top. I like that. I like the bottom and the top. So what we're going to do is go to header type, and instead of just large banner, I'm going to click on cover. And guess what we see? We see the whole image. So a cover is a large, well, it's the full image, like a cover page. Large banner is saying, okay, this is like large, and a banner is basically kind of like a small little sliver of banner. Title is without image. So we already know that cover gives us that range, and that's what we're going to stay with because it's the best one. So notice how when I click on something, it has a blue little barrier or banner around it, or yeah, let's barrier. That allows me to know what I've selected. So I'm double clicking to select everything, 1, 2, 3, triple clicking to select everything in text because I'm going to bold this, especially because the background is a little lighted out. There's a thing down here next to anchor, which will remove the readability. It's trying to light it out to make it more readable. And there's a reason for that, because this is a good image, but now it's less readable. So I got the image, someone's cleaning, Alexa's home and closet. I'm seeing the full image. I like that better. And this one is a little small, but we can always change that and we can come back to it. Right now we're focusing mostly on the images. So next, what we'll do is create some more images to kind of get a brief of what the site is. And as you can see, there's some already created here. But this is when we're actually going to go to this side where you see insert, pages, and themes. Right now we're on insert. We're going to insert 3 content blocks, and we do that by just either clicking or dragging. So I'm going to click and drag. When you see that blue, that's showing us where it's going to place, either above or below. So you can think of it almost like a Lego block. So we're going to place this block on top of the block that exists, and now what you see is these sections or content blocks with images. I'm actually going to change the color real quick. So let's go to theme and let's go to blue, and now you see all the text is following a different font style, or the same font style but just a different color. So let's go back to insert. You see content blocks, and with that what we're going to do is we're going to start again the images that we just talked about. We're going to go and click on this button, and you'll see upload select images, but now you see other options from Drive, YouTube, Calendar, Map. Well, we're going to go to select images like we've done before. We're going to go Google Images. We're going to say cleaning, and then I like this image, so we'll click on that. Cool. And how about we find another one, select image, Google Images, cleaning, and let's see, that was Windows. Let's go with, I see something like this. How about that? Insert. Oh, that's the same image. I don't like that. That's not gonna work. So let's choose another one, something more like, so you see that I can click on this one. It's blue, but it's selecting everything. I'm going to click on it again, and now it's just selecting that one image. And if I go to this 3 little buttons, I can go down to replace image. I can hit select and do it again. Cleaning. All right, so let's look at someone like, there we go. All right, we got a window, we got an up close. So now we'll do that third one, and let's see what we can do. Third, yeah, let's do something like select image, Google Images, cleaning. Let's try to find something. That's a terrible image. Damn. All right. What else can we find? That's the same concept. But, I see a toilet image. It's getting away from, let's say, cleaning toilets. There we go. I think I can deal with that one. Okay, perfect. So we got a few images. So now what I'm going to do is actually show you how to take pictures of those images, and then we're going to upload them into ChatGPT. Alright, so we've got the pictures in, we've got the sections which are actually written by ChatGPT. Now we're going to do the same thing but with testimonials, and we're going to create some images using ChatGPT, or in this case Midjourney. Before that, let's give a little bit of spacing. It's just kind of a design thing. You want to give space, and there's a thing called a spacer. So we're going to go here, which is under insert, and we're going to click on spacer, and what happens is it puts a space after. I actually want a space after and before, so I'm going to grab this, and again, you highlight it, you can see I'm dragging it, and I choose a little blue area. Before I drop it, I can see where it's going to go. So now I let go, and it drops there. You can't really see it, it's just giving a little space, but I want one below, one above and one below. So unfortunately, just put this one above. So I'm going to grab this one, scroll down, and then we see that's where it's going to place it. Boom. All right, cool. So I have some spacers. I want to do that between each section, or at least try to give some space between the wording. and I don't necessarily like any of this, so I'm going to delete this. So when I click on it, you see the little blue divider. I'm going to go over to the left, and you can see some options. I could copy this, I could change the color, but I'm actually going to choose the delete. Same thing with this one. Click on it, you see the whole place is highlighted. This is all, we can call it a block or a div or a content block, just like this. We go to the left and we delete it. Because what I really want to do is go back and grab another 3-person content block. I'm going to click on it, drag it under the spacer. So that's where the spacer is, let it go. And I have 3 more content blocks. So I have a picture, 3, 3. That's, you know, a good repeating number. Looks good to me. And really what I'm going to start doing is bring in some testimonies. So now that we've got these 3 blocks, going to move it into ChatGPT again and create some testimonies. So let's click here. And this is the same conversation. I'm going to say something like, want to create testimonies and reviews from customers. Alright, so obviously you want real testimonies, but what we're trying to do is show how you can create content, what's the level of content. So we'll say, let's do it. Got 1, we got 2, and we got 3. So this is a great aspect of what ChatGPT can do. It can do marketing and content creation, and like we've seen before, we can bring in pictures and other content to make it look as real as possible. Alright, so we're going to grab this, and just like we did last time, grab all of this. I'm going to do copy, right click, copy, go back here, select, and then right click, paste and match style. You know what? Nah, let's have it do it again. Do it again and make them have stars and 2 sentences. There we go. And it even knows where I'm living. So copy, go here. There we go. Starbase, because I like that. Alright, so we got these. I'm gonna, instead of right clicking, I'm just gonna Command C or Option C, then Option X, and then I'm gonna Command V or Option V, and same thing here, Command C, Command X to cut, and then I'm gonna Command V. Everything should be good, so I'm just highlighting this, grabbing it. You can see that blue, backspace, backspace, backspace. Trying to get rid of all those spaces so things can be even. Okay. And then we're gonna highlight and see how it's selecting everything. I gotta be careful. I gotta hit it so it only highlights that box and center. Let's do the same thing here and center and last one. Gotta highlight that box alone and center. Alright, so we have those, but we don't have the images, so we're gonna have to make the images either on ChatGPT or another AI site called Midjourney. Midjourney is made for creating images using text, and ChatGPT, which was originally just a text creator, can now do images. So I'll show you a little bit of both. what we're going to do is look at ChatGPT and we're going to look at Midjourney. But first, we're going to go back to our conversation with ChatGPT. And because we know we want to make images based on these names, Maria T, Jordan, Samira, and I guess there was a Kevin. So we'll just do the first three. Alright, so we know this one is Alexa, Homes and Closets, Maria from Tacoma. Alright, so we're going to say create a mid-journey prompt. Journey prompt to create for a photo realistic image of this customer with realistic lighting as if unphotoshopped. Saying that because during my class, the women were like, yeah, those people look fake. So I want to make this more realistic. So let's do that. So what I did was I took that first testimony and made sure that this was based on her. So it did the first customers and then it said, would you like to do versions for the other customers? And I'll say, yes, because it understands the assignment. So it redid Maria, it's doing Derek, it's doing Lena. Why is that not the name I thought? Yeah, see, what are you doing? Derek? Nah, bruh. I guess it really doesn't matter, but this is sometimes what happens. It forgot the other ones and just started making up stuff. So if I needed it to be consistent, I'd be like, hey, I'll just do it. Use the testimonials and people names to be consistent with what we already had. So I'm just trying to get it to be consistent. So that's Maria T. Okay, great. So now it's actually going back. Now the one issue is it didn't separate. Well, it's saying Midjourney prompt. So we're going to go to Midjourney. We click a new tab, type in Midjourney, and now you see that. I'm going to click on Midjourney. I usually don't like the sponsored one, but this is Midjourney. Specifically for images, these are pretty dope, like this one right there. These are types of things you can do if you're very skilled. We're not going to do all that. We're going to grab what we had from here, focus on Maria first, grab this. Sometimes ChatGPT can make a error in how it creates a Midjourney prompt. Link your account. Alright, I had to go to my account. These are just different Midjourney ones. Harry Potter. Oh, that one's so dope. Alright, I'm going to click on that one and say that one. Alright, cool. So I grabbed it, throwing in the prompt up here. And it might not work because of these little dashes, but we'll see. I hit enter and failed to submit invalid code photographic. So I'm going to click that. Let's go and delete all that and hit enter. So it worked. So we have a crate 1 and 2. I click on that and it's coming to my images it's creating right now. And this is how image generation works. It becomes blurry and then it becomes 100%. Alright, I know the Women in my class will still say these look fake. I mean, that's pretty realistic. That one, okay, I can give that one fake. These look a little Photoshop. But I'll grab this one and go over here to the download button, download, and go back to my website, and I'll click here and go from upload and go to my downloads, click on this one, and bam, then we got the image. I'm gonna delete that. There we go, delete that. Alright, so we've got AI generated image. We're gonna keep doing that. I put a spacer, just one build after. And let's go back to ChatGPT, grab this one, copy, go to Midjourney. Nope, not that Midjourney, this Midjourney. Create that, and I'm going to get rid of this style photographic because that's made up by ChatGPT. And it says creating one, 0 to 1. So I'm going to go back, grab the next one, copy that one with the option C, go here, option V, and get rid of that photographic. I can't say that word. Photographic. There we go. Photographic. Hit enter, and I go, now seeing it says create 0 of 2. You've got these 2 ones. There's this guy, there's her, and they're creating this one. That's Jordan. Photorealistic image. Oh man, don't tell me that's 100%. That looks fake as something. Oh, those are fake as everything. See, that looked real. What is going on there? She looks still kind of fake. That one could be decent, but it does look Photoshop. But we could work on this, especially because we can iterate through photorealistic. We can look at what this makes. Color coded clothes. Yeah, photorealistic first clean. And let's go back for a second. Let's make sure we can try to do something here. Midjourney doesn't recognize this one. Need the photos to look more realistic. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you can definitely focus on actually iterating over what you're doing. This Jordan one, a realistic photo of a young black, yeah, that's not a very good prompt. So let's do a very detailed prompt where you are acting as a professional photographer and providing the image description so that the people have a unfiltered image. Great. Natural unfiltered portrait or Latino. Okay, great. And that's very detailed. Wow. That one's cool. I'm going to have it continue. Yes. The first image for Maria was decent, but what I really want is the next 2 ones to be photorealistic. See, It just became lazy. A natural portrait. See, that's what I want to say, a natural portrait. So I'm going to copy, go to this one, and say a natural photorealistic image. Did that not work? Oh, here we go, 16%. Let's see. Let's go. 94%, that's... Wow, that's bad. That one, maybe I'll have to just go with that one. Too shiny. Yeah, this is blurry. I mean, that could be, but that's kind of bad. Alright, so we downloaded, putting it here, great. And we'll get her with the flowers. And nope, wrong one. Oh, so that's a little off and not centered, and so is this one. So I'm going to double click, and what you see is the full picture is behind it. And instead of cropping it automatically, I can slide it over here, center him, boom. And I'm going to do the same thing for her as best as I can, because this is already uncentered. And she's a little off too, so I'm going to center her too. Alright, cool. So we have images. They're laid on top of these other ones, and it's pretty decent. Could be better, but hey, we're getting it done real quick. So we'll move on to the QR code. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this section. So again, select and go to the left, delete, and that means I can delete that. Okay, so one more time, delete. We have questions, contact, email to get more information on the project. In this case, we'll assume that she has her own email, Alexa house and closet.com. Alright, we got that. And we have a thing called take action. But just to finish this up real quick, what I'm going to do is go to bit.ly, a site that allows us to shorten the URL, and we can create a QR code. But how we're going to do that is we have to publish the website finally. So we've got the website. The name is still project website, so I'm going to call it Alexa Home and Closet. I don't know if you can do the ampersand. We'll see. Looks like you can. So now when I hit publish, it's instead of going to do the ampersand, it's going to do an and. So it's going to have to do everything in lowercase, and it's going to put dashes between words. So because I made it so long, we can do it that way. But that's the real URL right there. That's what we're going to be publishing. And who can view my site, I'll change it afterwards. But when I hit this publish button, what it's going to do is now it's published. And down here you can see the view published. When I hit that, it opens up a whole new link. And this is the technical website. So you see everything that we did is on the site. It's here. It exists. And We even see the other pages we haven't changed, but they're here. Team, frequently asked questions, all that. So I'm going to close this, and we can go to the pages. We can actually lock down these ones. So because we don't want to publish them, I'm going to click, go to hide from navigation. I'm going to do the same thing with these other ones. And as you can see, there's a little strikeout for all of those. So I can still see them, I can still go to them, I can still edit them. But when I go to publish, what's going to happen is, now that I've made changes, you see the draft of the homepage and the currently published homepage. But now you see changes on the left, navigation, visibility. So this is our draft, but this is the current one. The current one we still can see. So until I hit publish, none of the changes I made are published to the web. So think of it again like newspapers or editors. They'll come together as newspaper, they're edited in multiple drafts, but until they publish it to the newspaper, that's not actually published. It's not what everybody else sees. The news isn't pushed out yet. It's just their internal draft. So that's what a draft is. It's an internal draft, but we have something that's already out to the public, which is published. So when I hit this button, these changes will be made. And the only changes we made were making sure we hid the visibility of history page, team page, and frequently asked page. So hitting this button, now it's published. The way we can see that is we go to this little arrow here and we go to view published site. View published site. Alright, so it's showing me the history page, but let me click here. This is the home page. Okay, so now I click on the home page and there's no navigation to the other pages. They still exist, they're just not published, or they've been hidden from the visibility of the published page. So we can keep working on our site, we can publish what we want, and we can keep everything else in the draft, which is very important because, yeah, this is a live site. You can go to the site by going to this exact URL, which I now realize it has an S instead of a Z, but we'll fix that. All right, so I'm back to the page. I'm under pages, so we see history, teams. I'm going to click on home to get back to the page we want. That's the home page. And this still has the S, so I'm going to change that with an X. And then I'm going to go here to publish, and I'm going to go publish settings, so I can change that to a X. And that's going to change everything. So the updating the URL will break any previous custom domains, external links. So it's good I didn't make the bit.ly yet, because by updating the name, or really the published URL, what we're really doing is updating the address. So it's like changing your address to a house. Yeah, it might be 569, but if you go to another one, which is 568, technically those are two different houses. So it's the same thing with changing a word in your URL. It will change the address. So I'm going to hit published again. It says change site title from Alexa, so it knows it's telling us to change. We're going to publish. So now it's a live site with the correct spelling. And as you notice, we still have the navigations hidden. So under the pages, we're under the home page. And go back to insert, go down here, and then I'm going to create a placeholder. So one of the inserts out of all of them is a placeholder. That's there. It's just a box. We've seen it before. I can move it. See how I move it and it's actually has these lines? This is showing me where I can place it and how it divides up. So we already saw that I can place something down and I can crop an image, but I actually, if I click again, I can reshape this to whatever size I need it to be, but you'll see that it will kind of fall into different sizes automatically. So I'll bring it back to that size. Great. See if I can make it more of a square. Cool. And I'm going to put this above here. So again, where I'm about to place it shows me the blue line, kind of like Lego blocks stacking on top of each other. I'm going to stack that right there. All right, perfect. So now we got it stacked right there under this line. I'm going to make this bigger just so people can see. There we go. Let's make it 14. There we go. All right. And just so it's stacked a little bit. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So now we need the QR code. The QR code right now is just going to send them to the website, but what we could do is send them to a Google form, which can be a form or survey, an intake survey or intake form, and that can be its own page. I'll continue to show you stuff like that in updates later because that's something we did in class. But right now, this is going to be the last step of this video before we move on and keep it short and sweet. All right. Oh, now we've got this section ready for a QR code. And now we've published to the web. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the View Published site. And we're going to grab this URL. This top up here, because that's how you get to our Google site. It's on the web. It's free. Normally it would cost about $2,000 at minimum to get a site on the web. This technically is one for no money at all. So we go back to bit.ly. You can see it says shorten URLs, generate QR codes. We hit the generate QR. So QR code right here. We're going to throw this in here. Technically, I might have ran out of my QRs for this month, so we'll see. Get your QR code for free. Yeah, it wants me to start an account. I technically already have an account, so we'll use this one. Says, yep. So I'm using all my Google stuff. Your bit.ly QR code. There we go. So it gave me one. It's even giving me a download. I'm going to download it. I'm going to go to my website again. This is the published. I'm going to go here and I'm going to upload it from my computer. Yep. And there we are. That is a QR code that if you use your phone directly takes you to the site. And you always want to test stuff, so let's test it. And this is why we want to test it. So this did not work, and this is something that always happens to me. And I wasted a QR code. I hate you. I hate you so bad. Alright, so if I go in here, grab all this, copy. Oh, no, that took it to the right place. So what's happening here? Lying son of a bitch. Both of them work. Oh. This is important. And I shouldn't have cussed. Okay, so what's happening is the QR code works and this link works. So both of them work. But when I tried to go on my phone, it didn't work. Why is that? Well, the issue isn't with the QR code. The issue is with how it's published to the web. Specifically, how it's shared to the web. Because right now, yeah, I published to the web, but I didn't allow anybody who goes to it to have access. It's automatically locked down only for my account and possibly the people I work with under the same domain. But the way I know that is this little button right here, the share button. I go here, And what do you see? You see there is a general access to the draft. That's what I'm working on right now. That's the editing. I don't want anybody, unless they're co-workers or someone who has been given permission to be on this project, to have access to this draft website. But the publish is also restricted, which means only people I've put the emails into here would have access. So what I got to do is change it from my restrictions, which is specific emails you put in, past just my organization. I don't want just people from my organization. I want anybody, public. So once I hit that, boom, you see public means anyone on the internet can find and open. And that was my problem. So I just made it public. I'm going to hit publish. Updated home. I guess I updated home. I'll make sure I publish so that now when I go to that QR code, in fact, it's on the website already. Let's try it again. And now it works. Everything we put on there on a mobile version, and it works perfectly. Alright, so I'm going to stop here. There's a lot more we can dive into, and I plan to update this project management site using Google Workspace and AI, because there's concepts like pulling in stuff from your Google Drive and embedding a whole site or embedding a Google form, and even doing things like an Emmerich's carousel, or adding social links like Facebook, Twitter, and the rest. You can do a lot with Google Sites, but this was just the beginning to quickly get one created so you could see how it was done, how it's drag and drop, and how with AI we don't have to write everything. We can use AI to help us with our writing, our editing, our whole editing process before we publish it to the web. And again, this is free. Normally it costs about $2,000 just to get something created. Let's say $250 to create a website, but then who's going to maintain it? Where are you going to pull the content? And every time you need to update the website, would you be paying them another $250? Chances are yes. So we can say on a base it's something around $2,000 to get a business website up, and you just got yours up for free. So my name's Andrew Powers. This is Google and AI for Business, specifically using Google Sites and AI to create project management sites. And until next time.